What's up, everyone? Dan, part-time Avenger here, partnered up with the. Sorry, man. This is just a collaboration. Here we are with the Level Down Podcast, guys.
Dan's out here twitching, trying to figure out what's going on.
Twitchy for the
Twitchies.
Yeah, we're live on Twitch.
Yeah,
It just went live.
Yeah, hey, Twitchers.
It's a good feed.
Yeah, look at that.
Strong stream.
You guys are the enhancements.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
Here's the thing, yes, people on Twitch, y'all will get to see this live today, but YouTube, everybody else, y'all get a clean, polished, published version Sunday, because we're not recording again on Sunday.
This is our episode, so guess what? We brought you two gifts.
Exactly. From the I Can Do This All Day podcast.
Yes.
Not much
We'll
again.
have in the description and the bottom. Y'all know, because they showed love on the last one we did, but the, what movie was that?
Oh my
From
God.
Another Planet.
Yeah. And did you guys show up conveniently for Wonder Man with?
That was. Hey, man.
Not going to say it, but
This was your invite, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
don't put this on me. No, I'm joking.
Mark will be back. He had a little bit of a
There
technical
he is.
issue.
There he is.
Yeah, I don't want to hear the Wonder Man thing. Dan mentioned the Wonder Man thing, and I was like, they asked us to do it, and I'm just going to go with it. This is revenge. I see what you're doing here, Del.
This is the get back. Happy February, everybody.
It's because we're old and you want to rip on Trevor Slattery, isn't it? It's you want the
Perhaps.
old people's opinion.
Happy Black History Month, guys. Happy Black History.
Yeah. Happy Black History Month, everybody out
So
there.
y'all better than I am, because I trash this holiday. I'm that type of guy.
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeah, this episode, we're doing Wonder Man. Is it season 1 or is it just a mini-series?
We don't know.
I mean, they better go somewhere after this.
It better.
I mean, if you judge by all of the rest of the Marvel shows, I mean, it's a higher percentage that it's the series than that it's season 1. What?
Right.
Other than, did WandaVision even get a season 2? I don't think so. Like,
No,
nobody
nothing
got
got
a
a
season
season
2 except
Besides, like, what
Loki?
if? What if?
And what?
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. No, I
That's
think
it.
that. I think
This is a 90% one and done rate right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
WandaVision, they're not going to get a second season.
I mean, Vision Quest, if you're going to count that as a
yeah,
sequel,
it's like
but not. To be fair, though, this is a Marvel Spotlight, so it's designated to be a one-off, but we shall see if something else happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see.
We're going to address the elephant in the room. Mark keeps losing connection.
That's
That's
typical, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing our pod hasn't seen.
Well, yeah, nobody cares about mistakes here.
Yeah, no. Yeah, this is a safe space.
Let's give him a couple more minutes, see if he slides back in. I wonder if he should just use his phone
Maybe
instead of using the computer.
might not be a terrible.
Does he lose connection a lot?
It's happened. I don't know if it's happened a lot. Not as many as this, that's for sure.
Connection failed.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe the phone. But I mean, who knows?
I'm not gonna complain about it.
Batteries and all. Yeah, it is. What we're fine. Everything's fine.
He was on the show for a couple seconds. We'll appreciate the time he was on.
He's here.
He was here for a cameo. He was here for a cameo, and that was it.
They seen him. We seen him.
Yeah, his upload crashed like completely. Like I barely got the file from him.
This is
Mark's
the one.
back.
This is the one. This is the one right here.
This is the one until the next one.
See, remember what we talked about before we went live? If you speak poorly about a software prior to utilizing it, it blacklists you
They
for
were like, haha.
entirety. It's like, nope, cancel. Nope, frame rate, never. We're not doing that.
You are uploading you're on a Mac.
Yeah, I've always been on a Mac.
Riverside likes Mac.
Let's not talk bad about Riverside. The Twitch stream will be all in the comments about equal opportunity whatevers. Yeah, no, I rock the desktop app lovingly. Riverside, I enjoy your desktop app. It is so
Everything's fine.
every
You gotta
single time
praise
that I
them.
try and use it.
Yeah, everything's
Beautifully.
fine. Yeah,
It's a happy, joyous place, much like the 2026 Marvel epic Wonder Man.
What do y'all know of Wonder Man?
Yeah. Let's break down the origins.
Yeah. The one that we got and not the one that we got. The one that we didn't get on the show. Let's talk about Wonder Man.
I'll go first on this one. So I first ran into Wonder Man When I started collecting comics back in the 90s, I got a little bit of some West Coast Avengers because I liked Iron Man more so than the regular Avengers roster at the time, and Wonder Man was a part of it. And I did not see him do anything interesting at all in that comic book run that I was reading for West Coast Avengers. Okay. So apparently, though, he's a badass, but he's super unstable. All I knew he was a movie star, became part of the Avengers, and that's all I knew from that 90s run in comics. That's my origin.
See, for me, like I go back to Avengers 9. We're talking about like 1964, where he, was beefing with Tony Stark, got locked up, and who gave him his powers? Was it Zemo?
Yeah.
I think it was Zemo. Wikipedia told me that it was the Enchantress because of Zemo. Like there was a Zemo.
That was after the prison thing.
There. Was it? I don't know.
He went to prison, got out because of Zemo. Zemo gave him. Yeah, it was Zemo and the Enchantress. Yes, it was. Zemo and the Enchantress gave him his powers, but they made it so that he had to keep getting upgrades, and that's how Zemo kept the reins on him.
News
so
to
what
me.
We found is Marvel has completely done away with every character in this character's origin story, or taken them on an off track. So they needed to do something different?
Yeah, because we don't know nothing about nothing. They didn't say nothing other than there was a fire.
But Wonder Man, they're saying he might be a mutant.
There's hinted, but I mean, let's really talk about Wonder Man's greatest feat in comic books, and his greatest victory was Carol Danvers. That's all. That's the only real thing that sticks out to me when I think about Wonder Man.
Only other thing I know about Wonder Man is that
that's his win.
Vision was basically his brain patterns were mimicked off of Wonder Man's, and that's it. That's all I know. So technically, I mean, whatever Vision did, Wonder Man kind of has credit for in the comics.
Yeah, there's not much.
No,
I wouldn't have picked Wonder Man.
He's just look his. Yeah, it was weird because I'm like, how are we gonna just do like essentially he's just energy.
He's God tier.
Yeah. So, but and here's the thing that never ever really translates. It's like, okay, you see the character. The character isn't ridiculously prominent in the books. If you're reading like main titles and stuff like that, like you see him, you hear him, he's in stories, and then you were like, all right, MCU is gonna put a spotlight on Wonder Man. It's like, how bad are we going to nerf this?
But you want to know why, though?
Because
I can tell you why. To. This is why. They're saying that Wonder Man can go toe-to-toe with Sentry, Hulk, and the Thor.
Yes.
You just brought Sentry into the mix.
Yeah, but are we going to get there? Are we really going to get there?
I don't think so.
No.
But let's be honest. None of us knew who Wonder Man was.
Do y'all think that it has anything to do with the writer and the guy who wrote the script just kind of getting it greenlit? Like
it could be.
It was written by the guy who did Community. Like it has a big name behind it.
Yeah.
And I could, it's also, would you call this an inexpensive show? Like it's I don't want to say cheap because it's not like, cardboard cutouts and stuff, but on the scale of Marvel properties, this may be one of the most inexpensive Disney-made Marvel shows ever, right? There is so little as far as special effects needed.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
I don't know, man. Do you think Ben Kingsley just costs more than all that stuff anyways?
It's possible.
$100 million.
It's possible. He's the price tag.
$100 million is quite a bit for 8 episodes.
Yeah, for that 8, yeah. For that 8? Yeah.
I mean, you had to pay Joey Pags for at least 2.
That was great that he was in there.
It's
Joey Pants, by the way. Joey Pants, not Pags.
Whatever. Oh, it's Pantaloon. Yeah, Pag. I always mispronounce names. It's a thing. Like, listeners would be disappointed if I didn't flub at least one name in a crossover episode.
Consistency is important, even on these hybrid crossover podcasts.
Listen, you got stay on brand.
Give the people what they want.
But to be honest, though, this was a refreshing show for Marvel. For me, anyway.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I knew that it wasn't going to be a hardcore superhero movie.
No.
You know I don't like black struggle.
Yes, we know.
I don't.
I know.
I don't want to hear about your problems and how you struggled. in your life.
Sorry, Luke Cage.
I care
Luke
about your
Cage, man, I
struggle.
love that series.
Exactly, it was a
Oh,
great
God.
show.
So,
No.
but I mean, do you
Is it
think
bad that
that
I was
this
like, why are we doing Wonder Man and not remaking Luke Cage and bringing it in somehow to the MCU? I don't understand. I know who Luke Cage is. Luke Cage has been touched on in multiple areas and has like Spider-Man crossover potential. Who the hell is Wonder Man? As I'm watching this, 'cause everything I just said, I learned from Wikipedia as I was watching the show, as I'm watching on my phone, because I'm not fully paying attention to this show, because, you know, and I'm just, why? I don't know.
Yeah.
Wonder Man wasn't a show that felt like a Marvel property.
It definitely didn't. Yeah, it didn't.
I didn't like a lot of the changes. Okay, I didn't like, they changed the origin, cool. They changed the origin of Doorman, but they still
Doorman
gave
a real
him
character, because that was hilarious. That's what got me to watch the rest of it. Like, I'll tell you honestly, and I'm going to get fully tangential because that's totally my role in any podcast I'm a part of. I started to watch this and I had to turn it off for a minute after he got like released from American Horror Story. I was just like, I can't.
That was
This
10
is
minutes.
episode 1.
That was
This
10
is
minutes
so
into
painful
the.
right
Yeah.
now. I can't. Like, I turned it on in like
The
a
show just came on.
not in a focused mood, and I'm like, this is Marvel. It'll grab my attention. I'll be in a better mood after I watch it. And I'm just like, nope, not adding to my chill whatsoever. I need to prepare myself for like, I'm gonna watch it. Watching it for the podcast, baby. Like, I don't know that if I had turned this on just for myself, that I would have taken it to the end as I did. And to give a little more color before we stop back to the origin part, I got there. Like, I was in it once they dangled the story through, but they took like 3 episodes to get me to be like, I'm excited to finish this, as opposed to this is painful.
I think that that's one of the things about the show was the fact that, since we don't know, I'm saying we, as us four, since the Wonder Man information is not out there, he's not a big guy, nobody hardcore Wonder Man fans love him. They were able to do things, and I think that's why I enjoyed it, because I'm like, I don't know Wonder Man. I'm not out there buying No, I don't think I own anything Wonder Man.
Back to the point of no one caring who Wonder Man is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, no one gives a shit about Wonder Man.
Yeah. He's never come up in a conversation of, even when people name like top 20s. It's never been.
I might even venture to say top 50.
That's a fair venture to make.
There's probably 50 more Avengers better than Wonder Man.
So there's like one person that's probably like on Earth that's like, yo.
But for Wonder Man,
$220 for this comic?
Wonder Man, though, I think it's fair to say none of us care about Wonder Man. But what about Yahya Abdul-Mateen?
Great. I mean, I don't think there's anything that I haven't seen from him that I'm like, this ain't this. I feel like he does what he does with the things that he is given, and it always works out.
I liked him in Ambulance with Jake Gyllenhaal. I never checked out the Watchmen TV series.
I seen that.
Was it worth it to check out?
I don't know if I can answer that question for you.
Are we talking about the main character?
What's his name? Yes. Yeah. It's not. I will say it's not a bad show. It wasn't hard to watch. It's just it was there.
What is his name? How do you pronounce that?
Well, you guys are figuring out etymology and pronunciation. I'll say nobody in the cast irked me. Like that.
No.
That is for a show that didn't grab me. The cast, there was nobody. I'm just like, well, they could have done better there. And I mean, Dan, I'll tell you, I have opinions on casting. Nothing negative about anybody cast in this.
I do.
And I mean, I hope that it's not Josh Gad, because anytime you could kill Olaf in a movie or a show, I'm all about it.
No.
What do you got?
You know the little black lady when he was on American Horror Story set, who he kept trying to give information to? Her. I can't stand her. It be your own people that cost you your job. He was trying to add to the show, and she got in her feelings. I couldn't. I was pissed. I'm like, yo, really?
You got a schedule to keep.
She irked me.
Because she couldn't just let him win.
To be fair, Mark already checked out of the series at that point, because that was within the first 10 minutes as well. So he doesn't know what we're talking about.
He doesn't even remember it.
Hey, I've got comments on a top 50 list later that we could talk about that Wonder Man definitely hits on. So We'll get there. We'll get there. It's a last episode kind of thing.
The overall show, though, I was entertained by it. You're right. It didn't feel like a typical Marvel show or even like a superhero show for all that matters. But I'm okay with that because I know that we can't have a whole bunch of CGI battles and powers showing up every 10 minutes of the episode. So I'm okay with it. Yahya Abdul-Mateen, he's sweet. He was good in Aquaman, but based off of, how shitty Aquaman was. But it was cool to see him back. Trevor Slattery, Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley.
Yo, for like a week, I've been trying to figure out how to pronounce that.
I just said it like 10 minutes ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, but that name is crazy. Wasn't he the boy from Us? Jordan Peele?
I don't think so. Was he? Maybe.
Maybe I didn't see it.
I do not.
Yeah, he was Us. He was in the movie Us.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see it.
I know Winston
He played
Duke
the
was.
Candyman.
I don't remember him in it.
Oh yes, he did play the Candyman. Yes. He's done some things.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Hey,
He's
listen,
a great actor. He was grading this. Like, you can feel that he was actually struggling. But I wish they would have shown a little bit more of the Wonder Man power.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of clueless as to where they were going with what his power was. So
right,
is he essentially
exactly. Yeah, I'm just like you have this character that is, they didn't do anything to tell you he was not leaning into doing everything possibly to not let go of all of this. He's essentially just a ball of energy, a ball of ionic energy. Okay, they tell you very early that he ain't trying to do none of that. He wants to get this role. He wants to nail his role down. Obviously, the whole doorman thing comes up, and then it's he wants this so bad that he can't be who he is, type thing. And so it's like, all right, we're going to get this struggle. We're going to get it in bits and pieces because he's a character who cannot control his emotions, clearly. And, sometimes we'll get bursts of it, but we won't get the full effect of anything. So I'm like, all right, this is a show where we ain't going to get nothing. Like, it's, Simon Williams, yes, they give you enough to tell you that he's got that stuff in him, but you're never going to see that.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Energy Hulk, right? Like, that's all he is. It's just Energy Hulk. But I don't know what he does. I don't know what happens after the fact. He just has his tantrum, and then that's it.
It seems like his powers are like the Black Panther suit when it turns purple.
Kinetic energy absorption.
Kind of, sort of, yes.
It's very nondescript.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
The cool thing about this show is they give you more backstory about why he doesn't want to be a superhero in his life than how he actually is a superhero.
Yeah. And I the last scene, and we'll talk about it when we get to it, but I was like, okay, like, is he going to do the thing? Because I know I've seen him do the thing in the little stories that I've seen him do. So I'm like, all right, like, clearly the last scene, I'm like, all right, he's gonna do that. And then we got fade to black like this was fucking Smallville or something. But
let me ask y'all a question. How do y'all feel about a man with the powers of Wonder Man playing a fictional character of Wonder Man? Like, how do y'all feel about how all this was brought together? Like, it's new for Marvel to have this, you're a regular dude with the powers of a fictional superhero trying to get the role of that fictional superhero, but not letting people know you have these powers.
I was okay with it just because the overall Wonder Man character is a mystery, and we don't really hear as to what Wonder Man's the TV character, movie character.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, for all we know, he's a dude that does stuff and wore glasses and had hair.
Yeah, he was like Flash Gordon.
There were lasers involved, right?
Yeah,
lasers, and his hair was parted down the middle.
Flash Gordon is the best.
I'm not saying that he wasn't. I'm just saying, like, we don't really know what Wonder Man does. He's kind of like a Flash Gordon persona in the movie. There's nothing else that's like I don't think he even said, like, oh, I liked it when he did this. Like, I don't even know if they even said anything like that.
Yeah, dude gave me like when you see Simon watching the movie with his dad in the movie theater, I don't know why my brain went to like Troy McClure from The Simpsons. Just like looking at the Wonder Man character on the screen, and I'm just like, this is like so.
You may recognize him from such movies as
such educational videos as.
Yeah.
I think that when you introduce a character that very few people, so when you introduce a character that your main target audience, which is the target audience that you want to achieve, which is non-sycophantic Marvel fans, has no relationship with, and you're trying to build a different relationship with the character and make it more universally acceptable, right? By giving him a different struggle, by entering in family dynamics, by completely renovating the backstory and race of the character. There's a different target for Wonder Man in this world versus, you know, what was written years and years and years and years and years ago. So I think that association between powers and goals of Wonder Man versus Wonder Man was not in their zeitgeist of comparison, which is why we didn't get a lot about the character other than he had really cool glasses that the dad really enjoyed. So I need the same glasses because dad would have wanted it this way, right? It's more of a making good on something that somebody that it sounds like you killed because of your powers in Housefire would have wanted, like making them proud and excited and meeting their expectation, right? They turned it into a making it up to my dead parents. God forbid, dead parents in a comic book story. That is so original.
Or in Disney.
Yeah, no. Me and my wife had that conversation the other day because my son wanted to watch Raya and the Last Dragon. Completely off topic. And I'm like, let me guess, the dad dies and she becomes an orphan. And my wife's like,
well, at least your kid doesn't want to watch Smile.
I don't know what that is, and I'm okay.
You never seen a horror movie? Oh, you don't like horror movies?
He doesn't watch horror movies, guys.
Oh.
We got to keep it PG for him, all right?
And my kid's 5, so it's a very different, it's a different world.
My
Watch
daughter was
all of
5.
them
She was
since
watching the first
inception.
48. Hard to get her to stop watching that.
Well, I need to rewind a second. Here, hold on, wait a sec. Because, Mark, you had said that Simon may have killed his father. I don't think there was any inkling that he did. I don't think there was anything that was...
Yeah, I don't
powers
remember.
manifested after the fact, after he died.
I thought he caused the house fire.
He
that
probably
led
did.
to the that was the thing that his dad died in.
Mm.
They didn't say his dad died of natural causes. They didn't tiptoe around it. And his brother seems to have blamed him or has a great disdain for him for some reason, and dad's gone. And dad was the emotional anchor of the family. And mom keeps apologizing for him. And I read between the lines and said Simon lost control of his powers in the house and killed dad. But maybe that's just me.
I think it's just you. I don't know.
Wonder
I got that.
The brother didn't like him because he had powers. That's why they didn't get along. Because Simon had powers and the brother didn't. Wonder Man's dad died from falling while hanging Christmas lights.
Where did they give him a Clark Griswold background?
It maybe Simon got so pissed off with his gift that year that he's like, Dad, and made him fall off that ladder.
He didn't say taking down Christmas lights, Dan. He said hanging them. Pre-gifting.
Yeah, hanging Christmas lights.
Where was that? Where was that throwaway line? They gave you a whole episode to learn why he didn't want to tell people he had powers. And then they threw away the hanging Christmas lights deal?
I don't even remember that. I don't even...
Okay. I
typed it in because I didn't know.
That was the AI lying to you, my friend. That's what that was. The AI
I'm pretty sure he had
up.
nothing to do with killing his dad. And like all the other stuff just after the fact is just, you know, him and his bro just not getting along because of the powers thing. And because he's just disappeared and he's been the absent son. So he went off to go chase his dreams, which I would assume in a lot of family cultures, you don't go off and chase your dreams. You stick around with the family and suffer or succeed with the family as a unit. So I don't know. I think that's kind of where
what Dad wanted him to do. Dad told him he was talented and took him to terrible movies to inspire him.
Right. And you know, the dad might not have showed the other son that type of love.
Yeah.
Because he probably knew early on that his other son was a D-bag.
Well, he really wasn't.
Those
he
are the
didn't
only people
tell
that get into insurance.
The news
deals,
reporter.
Right?
He didn't tell the news reporter.
Yeah, because it benefited him. Yeah. If there was no other ties to like his family or his mom or anything else like that, he would have completely threw him under the bus.
Wait, y'all don't have weird families that pretend that everything's okay when shit be toxic? Like, they're just like, oh, yeah, no, they're doing great, when secretly you hate them. Like, you don't have that family?
I talk to my aunt and my cousin.
I get along with everybody.
I don't.
See, you guys are just wonderful people.
I hate 99% of the people in my family. I like my cousin Terrence, Aunt Teresa. I shouldn't say this.
Do you just like people whose names start with T?
And my cousin watches this.
Shout out.
I like my Aunt Margie. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, everybody's
We should
great.
call her live on the podcast and see what's up with Aunt Margie.
I don't even have a phone number. That's how far apart we are.
Did you, going back to the show, did you guys think, the doorman thing, the doorman episode, I liked it. I liked that episode, but did you think it was necessary?
Yes.
Totally.
It was one of those, I think it was one of the better episodes to break away from the main character that I've seen in recent shows. Mm-hmm. You get those episodes where it's like, all right, I really didn't need this episode. Yeah. Can we just get back to the main character story? But this one was, I would say, way more entertaining than that. It also set up the whole big main reason why he had his that fear of having his powers show at any point in time, because he's trying to live this dream, he's trying to do this and that, and this was that rule or law came from Doorman. So I feel like it all came together collectively. It was entertaining. So I didn't mind not seeing what was going on with Simon for the most part in this episode, because that one was I was kind of invested in seeing what have the rise and fall of Doorman.
I don't know that the Doorman episode wasn't the best episode in this series, right? It reminded me of the Book of Boba Fett season, where right in the middle they threw an episode of The Mandalorian in there with the Darksaber and him learning how to fight.
Yeah.
Oh, finally something good. Right. I feel like it's a very similar feeling to where this is entertaining. It's a little off the wall. You've got Josh Gad in it for no real reason. And he's singing songs from Frozen in just a level of ridiculosity that is great to capture on film, and gives you gives a backstory to those reservations that he has about sharing his gift.
Yeah, no, sure.
I really think that might be the Doorman episode, by far my favorite episode. By far.
Yeah, I think we needed this in the show. They hinted at why he couldn't do it all the time, and why actors weren't allowed to have superpowers and stuff like that. This gave a nice break from Simon and the Mandarin. Sharp industry satire in this episode. It was funny to me. I enjoyed it. I needed it to give you that. Now, I wish they would have waited. What was this, episode 4?
I think that was around there, yeah.
Somewhere in the middle.
I would have enjoyed this a little bit later on into the show, to wash that palate before you gave me, the callback episode, or what is it? The Kathy Friedman episode.
Oh.
Just a little something. But I enjoyed it. I would have rather have a Doorman show than Wonder Man.
You'd rather have one Doorman.
Let me ask this question. Do you all feel that the Doorman episode gave a better explanation about why powered individuals, or mutants — I'm leaning towards mutants in this, even though there was a source to his mutation — it was probably the best representation with an emotional backing of why they were stigmatized and segregated and ruled against in a negative way than any other thing in comics. It was better than some of the reasons people hated mutants and X-Men.
True.
It was just very straightforward with reasoning and why, and somebody with good intent being taken advantage of and put in a bad position, and then everybody suffers.
The Doorman episode did provide a clear cut, straight to the point. This is what happened. This is why we don't like you. Yeah. Other series give you that how can I put it? They give you that feeling of, hey, you decide why you shouldn't or should not like these individuals. They leave it up to the readers, the watcher and stuff like the watchers. But this is just, hey, this guy was pretty much abused. He slipped into some goo, got some powers, got abused. People were taking advantage of him left and right and then mocking him behind his back and even to his face. And then when the accident happened, my man had the bubble guts and the guy that went through him was kind of big, you know? So he got lost in the void.
You just said a typical Tuesday for an OnlyFans model. So I don't think it's that necessary.
The other thing that I'll say about the Doorman episode is it had a clear villain, if you will, in Josh Gad. And I'm pretty sure that Josh Gad, the villain, is the most clear-cut villain we get in the entire Wonder Man series. Because who's the bad guy in Wonder Man? Josh Gad. It's Josh Gad's fault that he won't reveal his powers because Josh Gad took advantage of Doorman. Josh Gad's the bad guy in the whole series. The biggest villain. Because the Mandarin isn't really a villain.
No, he's definitely a protagonist. Definitely a protagonist.
Definitely.
I think Josh Gad, this whole series, for the first 4 episodes, I'm trying to figure out who's the villain in this. Like, where's the supervillain? And it's not a supervillain. It's Olaf.
I'm going to get deep here. The villain is corporate America. Corporate America wants to keep your individuality from being shown, and that's what they're doing. And that's what Hollywood is trying to do as an industry. Josh Gad is part of that Hollywood industry, but at the same time, like, no, man, he's a guy that likes to party, and he's a true Hollywood actor. That's what he is, the character of it, right? So I don't know, man. Like, I don't even think there needs to be a bad guy in it just because of Wonder Man's struggle.
The United States Department of Damage Control.
Yeah. The government's the bad guy. Well, let's not look in the mirror.
That's what Cat's been saying
the whole time. They could have really made it the government. If their uniforms would have been orange, it would have been way better to represent the government as a villain in this show. If they made even their logo had a sprinkling of orange peel. Mattering.
It's funny though, because I like my villains to where it's like they're not necessarily villains. They're just trying to do a job, and that's the bad thing is the job.
It's the job, hey, right?
What are you gonna do? I mean, same thing with any freaking series. Like Thanos as the villain. Yeah, sure, I get it. He's the villain, but at the same time, you kind of understand why he does some of the stuff.
I never thought he was a villain.
He's right. Thanos was right.
He's trying to fight hunger.
Yeah, I never thought he was a villain.
Some people do can good drives. Other people snap out half of existence.
Which we need that now.
Ooh,
population control.
Deep on this one, the comment section is flooded.
I will neither agree nor disagree.
I've said it numerous times. Watch some Bill Burr comedy. He says the same thing.
So what did you guys think? Like, did you need a bona fide villain in this?
No, actually, as the series went on and I realized the pacing and the tone of the show by like episode 3, it was like, okay, this is what we're this is what we're getting. And they sprinkled in some bright spots. We got the entire Doorman episode, and then like some some other things that were just like, okay, are you gonna do? No, okay, maybe you'll do it later. I'll wait. But I got used to that pacing of the show and what it was. So I don't think it needed anything else other than to be what it was.
This to me felt like a good series for the introduction and the Wonder Man. I don't want anything after this. No season 2, nothing like that. You gave me the origin story. We know who he is now. I'm done. To start incorporating him in the films.
How would you like them to incorporate him?
In the background. I don't need him as a forefront. He needs time to build up. He doesn't have a fan base. Yes, people love this series, but you ain't gonna see no Wonder Man costumes this Halloween.
You just get a Whataburger t-shirt and you're in. That's all it is. Get you a Whataburger t-shirt.
Some red
Go to your local drugstore, get some red flame glasses But
I don't feel as though how he's portrayed in the comic and how OP he is in the comic book. We don't need him right now in the MCU.
It's going to turn into and I feel like it's going to turn into a moment where I swinging it all the way back around to Carol Danvers. Translation on the big screen might be, all right, we got this character who can be completely OP, but we're going to show that, but not show that because we don't want it to be too blaringly in your face. So it kind of may fall flat at that point.
Yeah, we don't need him we need him as a Carol Danvers, but we really don't. We want to introduce Wonder Man because you want to keep the universe growing and introduce new characters and get new fans on board to new titles and stuff like that. But he has to be sprinkled in. He doesn't need his own movie, cameos for right now. Until people are like, yo, it's Wonder Man, we need to know more about him. But that'll never happen.
Yeah, it's like, oh, get that. We'll show this guy. Maybe he'll punch the Sentry, and the Sentry will fall through like a mountain or
which is crazy.
Like that.
I don't believe he's the strongest Sentry.
He's Foot Hulk, and
yeah.
I mean, you don't believe it because it is, but it's depends on who's telling the story.
That's exactly right. It's the writer.
The writing's the challenge, and here's the big thing we've seen failed about writing with a character like this is he's so heavily powered that how do you show a legitimate struggle with another character? I mean, the way that they've introduced multiple characters in some superhero movies, I keep going back to Morbius. Like, the power is so...
Wait, you said heroes, though.
What?
You said heroes. Morbius ain't shit.
Regardless, right? The power of the character is so dramatically higher than any of his perceived opponents. How is this even... Like, how do you write that character into anything? Giving them a fair fight or some anything. Like, it's
just like they've done with every other character with mental illness and trauma.
He has mental illness.
He's got some type of he's got
Sentry,
some baggage.
Same thing. Bruce Banner, same thing. Wonder Man, same thing.
But you have to take a chapter from DC. Have to give him the Superman treatment.
DC, they're bad chapters.
But you got to give him the Superman treatment. You have to.
Or he has a conscience. Just he's a good guy.
Yeah,
that's the reason.
You got to make him weak and pathetic. It's horrible.
But that's how Marvel nerfs their characters. Is they give them a little bit of trauma, and mental illness. That's Wonder Man's the same storyline on that.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I'm okay with that. But at the same time, yeah, how are you going to have, like, that's why DC ran into that problem with Superman, where, for the DCEU, I should say, like, he was just too overpowered. He didn't really have any trauma other than the fact that he let his dad die.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing major, though.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, nothing blaring,
Kevin Costner asked him to.
Yeah.
Save me, they will come, is what he said. And he didn't want the bad guys to come.
He's like, hey, you know what? That's my time. Yeah,
I'm trying to meet the wizard. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Kent and Clark watched Terminator 3 just before that tornado, and that's when he put up the talk to the hand, and that's why.
Listen, Ma Kent burnt casserole for the last time. And it's like, you know what? Never again. Just let this thing take me. I'm all right.
Deep stories.
We could have came out. We could have selected a better character than Wonder Man.
Wait. So I want to get back to deep stories for a minute. So there were some standout parts in this where I was just like, they're really doing this? Oh my God, I love it. And it was during the buddy cop part of it, right? Where they're like, let's see how out there in the zeitgeist they're going to get with this, because that's how you're getting jokes done between these two people. And when he's in the callback and he goes into the Pretty Woman monologue, did anybody else get that pretty much right away? Because I was like, is he doing Pretty Woman? My wife was like sitting, our living room and dining room are attached, and she's like, is he quoting Pretty Woman? And I was like, he is. And this might be some of the best stuff his character has done in this entire show.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, do they have the rights to Pretty Woman? Does Disney have the rights to this? Because it's great that they're doing it. And it was the most like Community the show, because the writer wrote all the episodes. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, it was in that moment I'm like, all right, this is great. It's like, he's so good at acting as if his character is a mess at acting. Like, it was
most random call out to, like, I'm going to quote Julia Roberts. Like, okay.
I knew you would like that. My wife said the same exact thing. Is like, he's quoting Pretty Woman. I was like, I don't fucking know. Mark probably knows. And then that's like, of course.
Mark knew immediately. And he was like, yes. Oh, it was so great. I wanted somebody to come in as the Jason Alexander part for some reason. Dental floss references. Let's go.
I think this movie had a lot of Easter eggs. I mean, this series had a lot of Easter eggs.
Probably a lot of them.
That's how you kept cinephiles involved in it.
Yeah. Because I noticed a poster, the Zanuck from Loki season 2 in it, Von Kovac from Superman. There was
Von
a
Kovac
lot
reminded
of
me
call-outs.
Is that the same actor as Where's My Rent from Spider-Man 2? Is that the same actor or no? Am I just confusing one?
No. I looked up all of Von Kovac's IMDb because I was like, where do I know this guy from? And I realized it was Superman.
He was the president in 2025 Superman.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Danny, that's a solid call out to the
I was thinking Where's My Rent?
I was trying to figure out what modern director he represented, and I don't think there's anybody living that he represented. I think it was like a Kubrick reference.
I would have thought it was like a funny Scorsese comparison type thing where it's like this guy's so highly regarded that he's doing a Marvel or like he's doing a superhero movie. Like, that's what I thought.
He doesn't do sequels, which is very Scorsese.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in them.
That's what I was thinking.
So how did y'all feel about the end of the series?
It ended?
Well,
are you talking about Trevor's sacrifice?
What is it called? Yucca Valley?
He did basically the Matrix 1 ending where he just flies off with Trevor. And I was like, okay, I guess we're in for something later on. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like part of that was, we were talking about everything else, but I guess how, and I'll ask this to everybody, like how did we feel about and we knew it was going to happen. We've seen it a million times with, somebody has a job to do. They wind up actually having a lot in common and or developing a close-knit relationship with the person. They have the regrets and then, the person finds out and then they make a sacrifice to try to, I guess make good on, that and almost a redemption for them and for the friendship or relationship as a whole anyway. So how did you feel about the progression of that until we got to the last scene of the show?
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. And for those 10 seconds or less, I'm free. So that's what I think about that buildup.
I feel like they gave it away early that they were going to bring the Mandarin in. Like they had the glasses. It's like they showed a little model of a Supra.
That caught me off guard.
Danny quotes that every time he can. If he can fit in a reference to family, he will. He will.
Oh my God, that caught me off guard. It's too early in the morning.
I thought it was cool because Trevor Slattery has already had his redemption in Shang-Chi. So it's like, okay, well, now he's in this other situation where he's going to fuck up this, in quotes, innocent guy's life. So he needs to be able to do that. And I wasn't surprised that Simon went back for him,
Yeah, no.
Josie Wales. He must have loved that movie. Always doubles back for a friend.
Yeah, and the second I see you, but yeah, like the second Simon asks about Trevor's whereabouts, and it's like, okay, well, they're like, oh, that's it's not the type of place anybody can get in there. I'm like, okay, all right, well, let's see how he gets in, because clearly we know the next thing that's happening is that, and then
I didn't like the ending at all. It was predictable. I don't care about the heartfelt, emotional, blah, blah, blah that you went through. Didn't care at the end of it. For me, this was the worst episode. This was the worst episode. I did not care about, your self-importance, you got control of your powers, but you should have did this a long time ago. You're a 40-year-old man. You wasted half your life.
And it's funny. I was saying that to my wife now, because she was like, oh, because when he was disabling the cameras and all that stuff like that, she was like, oh, he can control his powers. I'm like, I don't know if he wasn't already in control of those aspects of his powers because he was suppressing them for so long. However, he is very emotionally unstable. So right. So when other things happen, those bursts and those energy projections are a result of that, not necessarily that he doesn't have control over his flight or anything else. Like he's just an unstable person to begin with
because he killed his dad. Telling you that hanging Christmas lights thing is bullshit.
I'm not saying that mental health is not a struggle for people. I work in the field. I see it every day. But somebody should have sat him down and prescribed an SSRI to him to get him right. Something.
Now we're trying to suppress people's powers through medicine. Like that's what we're doing.
Give him
get
something.
Those Sokovia Accords back out. Let's get it going.
Go.
We need
more
some control.
More that's the government. Here we are. It's like chemical castration.
But he went his whole life with this. Then all of a sudden, you fall in love. That's what happened. He fell in love with the Mandarin.
It's
you tell me that wasn't a romantic relationship?
I don't know about that. I think it's just a dude finally got a friend that was into the same stuff that he was.
He seemed alone in a lot of everything, and the whole.
But he did it to himself.
He did. No, he killed his dad with his power.
That's he ruined his relationship.
Yep, absolutely self-imposed. 100%.
He did all this to himself.
Yes, I agree.
I enjoyed the journey up into him fully accepting the fact that he has powers. Because you should have been to you could have this would have been a completely different show if he embraced the powers 2-3 episodes ago.
He wanted to be an actor, man. He got that role he wanted.
I think that there are certain things you do in a show to please the audience, right? And some of those are reenacting tropes that we've seen people enjoy, right? There's only so many ways to unravel a twist, if you will. And this episode, in my opinion, other than the Doorman episode, had a very high spot, which was the way that they shot the Mandarin twist. Everybody thinks they're coming for him. Everybody thinks they're coming for him. Here's the phone call. They're switching between. They've got the audio in the background of they're coming, but they're coming for Trevor. Like quality writing and execution there made this a somewhat high watermark show for me. I do think this is one of the worst episodes only because they had the whole build up to the suit, the Whataburger Man suit. That is in the top 50 all-time worst Marvel suits we've ever seen represented on film. Probably top 10 worst, right? Right next to the OG Wolverine leather outfit from the first X-Men. But I've got to say this episode, the finale, what is the finale? I feel like gave us high and low points. And I dug the whole Trevor sacrifice thing. You mentioned the redemption in a movie that nobody cares about. It is just my hate of that movie. But
it's the best.
I think that it did the thing that Endgame did for Thor 2, for the Dark World, is it gave that Iron Man 3, that the first introduction of Mandarin so much more than it had in the moment. And I really enjoyed both the giving of the cinematic trope and the good execution of it, right? They didn't do it poorly. You kind of had a feeling if you've watched enough movies like, oh, they're going to do the thing, but they did it well. So I didn't have that much of a problem with it. And then they did the Captain America Civil War ending for Trevor and Wonder Man, if you will.
Yeah, there's a lot of good callbacks and tie-ins and similarities to that. So I was good with it. But yeah, that last episode, I mean, I feel like this last episode in itself could have been trimmed down quite a bit. I don't know if I needed to see him say like, hey, I'm trying to figure out this, I'm trying to get a little bit more character for the role, and I'm going, I can't tell you about it. It's like, why even go around that? Like, just, it's like, hey, I just want to check out where you work or something. I don't need this big thing. And then
you need to eat dinner at the house. Be awesome.
I did spend about 5 minutes trying to figure out.
Grabbed the dude and left.
He could have.
I spent 5 minutes trying to figure out if this person was referenced at any other point in the show. Like, is this somebody that Trevor mentioned you should make a film about? Was it a throwaway line somewhere? Like, who is this guy? And then we find out. So maybe it was all to frustrate the audience before giving them the ending.
Well, let's be unreal. Let's be a little. It's kind of unrealistic that you're in, where are they? Down south, maybe? No, the prison's in California, but you're talking to a Southern guy, appeared to be some type of Southern. You befriended him, and then he invites you to his table with his wife and 2 children to have a meal. Simon Skin
Are you saying
Tone.
that guy has a red hat somewhere, and it was weird that he invited him in?
I'm confused by that. I don't know too many individuals who just let me come be with their family.
You're not an
I'm
actor.
not trying to say it's a race thing, but I'm saying it's a race thing.
When you're famous, though, you're invited in. It doesn't matter. You're a famous. You're
I don't
Wonder Man.
know.
I mean, that's why Josh Gad died, because they invited him in because he was famous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
He's not
know.
dead.
That just seemed
He's not
weird
dead.
to me. Like, I didn't believe that part of the story. Not because of a race thing. I didn't believe it because it didn't make any sense to me why you would just randomly pick some guy to befriend the family to break into his job when you can literally just break into the place.
Yeah.
You could.
I
Because he
would've
wanted
loved
some
the
goddamn
fight
pot
scene.
roast, bro. He wanted some pot roast. Man had not had a home-cooked meal in a minute. And he
And
was
I'm not
like,
mad
I
at a
need
pot
some pot
roast.
roast.
What I was missing there was like a Riggs and Murtaugh scene where at the end, like, hey, Simon, you really like my wife's cooking? And he's just like, nope.
Nah.
And then he just
Yeah.
bails.
You know, that meat was dry as hell.
But I would have loved a nice. You saved all this money on this series. Can I get a little bit of a fight scene?
That was
A
a lot
little
of
bit.
backlash on social media. It's like no powers, no fights, anything like that.
I mean, he
Nothing.
beat
He
up
had one
Shannon
fight.
Elizabeth's ex-husband.
Oh, the
Right?
dream.
No, with the street fight. The dude
Oh, in the
Street Fight,
alley.
yeah,
with the
Yeah.
man bun that used to be married to
Yeah.
Shannon Elizabeth. I don't even know his name. I just know that's
I didn't even
who
know
he
that
is.
was him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
that guy. He's gone
Yeah.
gray. He's old now. We're all old. But yeah, no, he's Nadia's ex-husband
That dude, yeah.
got beat down.
but I would have loved just a little that right there. First, like Mark said, the suit reveal, trash.
Yeah, it was bad. That was bad.
It looked horrible. It was baggy in spots. His arms is too small to be out like that. Get in the gym. You should have hit the gym before you put that on. The glasses was whack. No, I'm not feeling that.
Are they
Hold on,
trying to
wait
do
a
the Men in
second.
Black thing where now everybody goes and buys these glasses? Like, I think it was a
I
decade
hope not.
Lord.
that people bought those Men in Black Ray-Bans. Y'all know what I'm
Oof.
talking about.
Yeah.
You're bouncing with me here. But, like, are
Yeah.
they going to try and sell those at Disney now? Like, hey, you should buy these
Probably.
Wonder Man.
Probably. I can see that. I can.
Tammy's
100%.
Everybody gonna be
I have
wearing
the
red tinted
glasses. I feel
glasses.
bad.
I can 100% see that. I can 100% see that.
They
Before
not
we
as
go
cool
into
as
that,
Scott
there's
Summers, though.
an important question to ask, though. What is it that Martha you about this show?
So much. It's a long
Predictability. I'm just gonna go with. I'll get my whole collection of the predictable aspect of. I know where I was at point A. I know exactly where point B. I know the direction. I know the path. I know how long it takes. I know everything. Like I Google mapped it. It's exactly what I thought it was. But it was that. It was that for me. Did I watch it? Yes. But the parts of it I enjoyed. Sure. But it was the predictability of it.
It was that lady who got him fired.
You wanted John and Kate plus 8 to be the lady, right? You wanted
Yeah.
that lady to be the one that got him fired, is what you needed.
Somebody else.
Like a bob
that
cut,
lady irked
half
me.
shave, angry blonde woman is what you wanted to handle
been
that
okay.
business.
It'd have been fine. I'd have been like, all right, yeah, I get it. He talking too much. But your own people,
The thing that Martha me the most about this is I don't know why we have it. Like that's the thing. Like I
that's the best
I
one.
say this with all love. I don't have time for like random throw in Marvel shows. Like there are better things that I would watch. I'm not saying it's bad, but like I strap in for MCU stuff because it goes somewhere. This isn't going anywhere. I'm not going to rewatch this before watching the next Marvel movie because it's going to have a dynamic plot point that integrates a certain piece. Like, I know I'm going to have to revisit the ending of Loki season 2 some point during the Doomsday Secret Wars situation to understand that character more. I don't see Wonder Man playing a big role, and this is anywhere in those two movies because they're going to be spending too many times two-handing characters that they said were done and then they brought back, right?
Yeah.
Like they went full Star Trek Generations on this. They're like, we're done with Kirk. Nope, he's back. Like there's no place for this red-shirted, red-glassed superhero in this. Like I don't see why I watched this. That's the thing that gets to me the most. Like I want my 8 episodes back. I could have gotten a Doorman special like they did for Moon Knight and it would have been awesome.
The thing that
I
Martha
actually
me the
like
most,
Moon Knight.
I thought Moon Knight was good, but the thing that martha me most about this show was after watching everything, at the end, I was thinking, like, there's so much that could have been cut out. I enjoyed the show, and I had a good time watching all the episodes, but I was like, a lot of this stuff wasn't relevant. So, like, Dell, I disagree in the sense that, like, predictability, I didn't know where it was going, because then you get the, like, as you're going through the episodes, a Doorman episode, I understood that it was going to showcase as to why they have that clause for actors. Why did they even need that as an issue? Like, that's kind of the thing that didn't make sense to me, is like, okay, you can't do this because the whole Doorman clause. But at the same time, you could have just been like, yeah, we don't really like those types of people in our movies because they're insurance liabilities. And then that would have been fine. You don't need a Doorman episode. The Doorman episode was great. I'm just saying it wasn't necessary to explain as to why this whole caveat is there for actors.
Let Dan tell them we don't need those people.
Yeah, that's not
in our films.
People, Dan. What do you mean, you people?
What I mean. That's exactly what I mean. It could have been something as simple as that, and you could have been like, what the fuck is this about? Thor's awesome. Captain America's awesome. And then the people would have been pissed and almost in uproar, like people, the viewing audience, been like, those guys are superheroes. Why don't you want superheroes? And then, like, that's, it's like, oh, you see how much fucking shit they did to Sokovia, to New York City?
Because they fuck everything up.
They had to kill Olaf. That was the best part.
I'm not saying that episode wasn't great. There's so many unnecessary things within the show that could have been cut. This was 8 episodes, approximately, like, 30 to 45 minutes for each episode, maybe less.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
this could have been a tight 90-minute Marvel Spotlight one shot, just like how what's it called? Werewolf by Night, or whatever that was called. Werewolf by Night. Right?
Werewolf by Night was the reference I was trying to make when I said Moon Knight. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, Deb, but I got to pause for a minute because somebody just discovered what an Olaf was in the background of this stream.
Didn't know what Olaf was.
I need to unpack this about how I've made Olaf references at least 5 times.
Several times. And I just I'm thinking you're talking about, oh my God, I didn't know you were talking about the character.
So the whole thing where he sings the songs from Frozen were completely, that episode for you will be so much better. Now,
do the song, but I didn't know he was.
When they said Gaston's on a roll, it's because he played Gaston in another movie too.
Yes,
like this podcast
I didn't think about
so much better just because we peeled back the onion on origin stories in a way we didn't plan, and it was so good.
Well, we gotta.
Yes.
We gotta wrap it up.
I got a question to ask, Ben.
Yes, sir.
We asked about the Marthas. Guys, when it comes to Wonder Man, this wonderful TV series on Disney Plus, can you do this all day?
No, I'm done with this.
Cannot do this all day.
No.
There's parts I liked, but no. I didn't like it enough.
Don't know why I would watch it again, other than the Doorman episode. I can do the Doorman episode all day, not the rest. Only because of Olaf.
I'm gonna watch that episode. I'm gonna watch that episode again.
I also cannot do this all day, but I will say Ben Kingsley is Trevor Slattery. I can do that character all day. I hope he comes back in some shape, form, fashion, whatever.
Yeah, that I'm good with.
I hope he's the next Avengers butler. I hope that would be the best thing, that he replaced Jarvis as the Avengers butler. And the Doorman episode I could do all day, but everything else was just like kind of meh.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the Wonder Man suit. It looked pretty comic accurate. I like Yahya Abdul-Mateen, but it was just his back and forth with Ben Kingsley that I enjoyed. But the series as a whole, when you've got 8 episodes and he could have trimmed it down to a tight 3 or 4, nah, sorry, son, can't do it all day.
Trevor Slattery, best man in the chair.
He's awesome. Yeah. God, every scene he was in was so great.
Yeah, he was.
And then the resurgence of the Mandarin, fucking top notch. Great.
All right, people. I'm Devin. That's Dell. That's Mark. That's Dan. From the I Can Do This All Day podcast. We appreciate y'all for taking the time listening to this show. Check out Wonder Man. Check out I Can Do This All Day podcast. We're going to leave all the information down in the descriptions. Check us out on social medias. Check them out on social medias. We need everybody to like, comment, share, subscribe. Get everybody together. If you got any questions, comments about Wonder Man, please leave in both of our channels comments so we can reply and tell you how wrong you are. And we'll see y'all next week.